Welcome to all you out there, my astrology friends. This is a very friendly video about the friendly full moon in Aquarius, and I'm going to talk about it for the collective, for all of you, and then going through each and every single sign, the 12 signs, in what kind of area of your life this full moon is falling. So it's one of my favorite moons because Aquarius, it's such a special sign. It's such an innovative, a bit eccentric, yes, friendly, tolerant, smart, intellectual kind of sign. And it is stable as well, because don't forget, Aquarius is a fixed sign. So let's get started. And what is this all about? So first of all, this is happening around and about the 1st of August. The 1st of August, we're going to have a full moon in Aquarius at 9 degrees. So the moon will be at 9 degrees of Aquarius, and it's going to oppose the sun at 9 degrees of Leo. So that's the full moon. A full moon always is about things come to its peak, you could say, and we understand things more. Things become more to the level of our consciousness, that we understand it, that we see it. So that is what a full moon is all about. Now, a full moon in Aquarius, which happens always around this time, is in particular an invitation for using and implementing the Aquarian traits, the Aquarian characteristics. I already mentioned a couple of them. And so it is a time to embody those Aquarian vibes, so to speak. And that's the Aquarius is the sign of friends. It is the sign of, you know, a true, you could say, high-level Aquarian is the, you could say the focus is on how do I match in with many other people? How do I set a trend, you could say, even? But being very friendly towards others in their other being and how they are different. It's the Aquarian that is the most tolerant sign, of course, and you know, you can comment like, oh, I know an Aquarian who's this and that. I'm talking here about the moon in Aquarius. The moon in Aquarius finds their needs met when they are going to do those Aquarian things, which is distancing yourself a little bit from emotions. I mean, everything is positive and negative. I mean, it's all neutral here, but in a positive way, you could say it's distancing yourself a little bit in order for you to understand what's going on. And it's not going into, you know, a person, let's talk about a person who's got moon in Aquarius natally. They're not the kind of people when they tell you, when a friend tells you a story that is very horrible and whatnot, a moon in Aquarius person is not going to dwell in it. It's not going to, oh, poor you. They are really going rationally listen to you and give you very rational, intellectual advice. And sometimes that can be very much just what you need in life. And it shows because we have now this full moon. It shows that we on a collective level all need that attitude. So I'm not saying that this is the best attitude. It is an attitude that is very needed now. So it's rather when it's not emotional at all. It's not a drama queen. It's the opposite sign of Leo. Of course, the sun is there, but it's how to balance that out between individuality and your own creativity and your own unique self, and how to deal with that in a group, how to be in a group, and how to be your own uniqueness almost, but in amongst others. Because Aquarius is very much like, I always think of a bunch of dogs or wolves, you know, it's like a tribe. You know, the Aquarian makes sure that you are in a tribe. And in a tribe, it's like a community, a little city. It's they can deliver, different people can deliver us so much. What we now expect from one single person. That is what Esther Perel, she's a relationship therapist, is talking about. She's talking about the fact that nowadays we want from our romantic partner that they do what a whole city was used to do for us, right? One is also looking after your kids, and the other one is good for maybe a bit more psychological support, and another person is good for some emotional support. But now we just want our partner to be everything, the perfect woman, the perfect everything, friend, the perfect mother, the perfect sister, and you name it. So this moon in Aquarius reveals that we do need to connect, and we do need to connect on a level of how we express it to our connection and our love to others is from that space of, hey, you're totally different than I, but hey, guess what? I mean, we're all in this. We're all in this together. It's a kind of a vibe like that. We are very much in the Aquarian age, right? And that is the whole story about community again, and so on and so on. But Aquarius is very independent, and it is very freedom loving, and it's super non-clingy. So a message for all of us during this period where Venus goes retrograde. We have a lot now happening with the Venus retrograde, so we are re-evaluating what is important in life. Not only love, but also stuff, right? That is dear to our heart, because the Venus is in Leo, and we are all making that assessment because somewhere in our chart Venus goes retrograde in Leo. We are all dealing with this opposition of the new moon that we just had opposing Pluto, and now the sun opposes Pluto. So we're in that energy of transformation, of shifts that are enormous. In August, also, we're going to have, at the end of the month, we're going to have a Mercury retrograde. So a lot of shifts. And this moon in Aquarius is trying to tell us, like, this is what a moon in Aquarius person would give you advice. It's like, look, this is all happening. Intellectually and rationally, it's for a reason, this and that. But our emotions are important, absolutely. But let's not dwell into them, right? Let's not make be our emotions. We are more than just those emotions. They give us direction. They are like, they go and they come and they go. And but we are human beings, and what makes us human is to find that balance between the head, the heart, and the belly, you could say, head, heart, and belly, to have that balance. And the sun is represented still in Leo, is representing the heart. So it is very important to communicate with the heart and with the brain at the same time. And this is a very interesting full moon because it's a very positive one. It wants us to distance ourselves a little bit from ourselves and from dramatic situations. Not because we don't love a person or we are not committed, no, but more of a standpoint of what can we do intellectually? What is rational now? What can we do in a rational way to fix this problem, to do something about it, and make a plan, and stick to that plan, and make those steps, and be innovative. It's like it's such a trendsetter. Moon in Aquarius. It's alternatives. It's not the doing the things like they are in a certain way expected from us, but maybe doing it in a whole new way. And that is scary, and that is uncomfortable. So a moon in Aquarius will find safety in the reasoning rather than, you could say, in money or in whatever, or finding peace in their own freedom, and that is available. So we are definitely all challenged for emotional freedom. I call this the emotional freedom kind of full moon, to be independent and free and exciting and honest and friendly and tolerant, but also a bit unusual, you know, because it's in our own way. The full moon from Aquarius to Leo, and non-conventional. It's non-conventional. It goes very back to the core of who we are as well. It's not going too deep in those emotions there, which we need to do when the moon is in Scorpio. You know, there's times for other attitudes, but now it's a rational time. Now it's a time of, and also, I mean, now with, during the 1st of August, it's this building up for the full moon is all about being buoyant, yes, having good expectations for the future and a vision, yes, because this full moon squares up to Jupiter. So this has to do with your vision for the future, and it may be bold, absolutely, and it may be a bit even grandiose, right? Because that's what Jupiter is all about, you know, see it big, be optimistic, but be rational, you know, take the rational steps and don't let yourself lead too much with emotions. That's basically the weather forecast for now. Sometimes I have to say here that don't let yourself lead too much by your intellect, right? Go to the feeling side. But now it's different. It's different. And I think it makes sense with so much that is going on and that has been going on. So, and also from a common sense, the reasoning, la raison, reasoning, thinking, rational. I mean, sometimes I'm jealous of these people, you know, who are so, you know, you either have people who are very rational, or you either have people who are very emotional. And sometimes you've got people who are a bit of both. But sometimes, of course, when I'm super emotional, I envy those people who are so rational, you know, because life looks so easy on them and a bit cold, yes, and a bit detached every now and then. But there's a good thing about it as well. Well, it's that attitude, like trying to be a little bit more like that. I'm not inviting you guys to be cold and to be super detached, no, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here, that it's good for us to be a bit more rational, to not fall into our emotions and what we need and our traumas and whatnot. Because we have a lot of Pluto squaring up the nodes. We have a lot of those traumas coming up to heal and triggers that we're getting to heal us. But meanwhile, we have this beautiful, and I find it a very beautiful full moon in Aquarius that is saying, hey, I've been through that. I understand that. This is my healing process. This is where I'm going. But I'm going to do this step at a time, you know. Like, for instance, if you would say, I'm fed up with my business, or I'm fed up with the thing that I do at work, and I can't do it anymore, and my soul can't take it anymore, right? I'm going to work to a job that is soul wrecking, right? I have a lot of people who are in that I hear that are in that situation. But now it's saying, okay, you can be healed by that. You can be choosing your soul, absolutely, but do this in a rational way, right? If you're having 3 young kids and a mortgage and you know, it's that kind of rational thinking of don't be stupid, right? And driven by your emotions, and then throw everything away and then say, what now? And having nothing that secures you. So now the intellect is going to give us security. Now the intellect, that irrational way, you could say, okay, I'm going to stick to this job, but I'm going to look for another one. And meanwhile, I'm not all the time that I say complaining, I'm going to use intellectually by every single night, at least half an hour, watching the internet for new jobs. You know, it's that kind of attitude. It's very rational. It's very down to earth, rational, airy, and in a human kind of way, with that balance between the head and the heart and the belly. The belly would be like a moon in Scorpio, basically, or moon in Aries, right? So It's that kind of energy, and I think it's very welcome. It's a super positive full moon. Now, the ruler of this full moon, which is the ancient ruler, is Saturn, the new ruler is Uranus. So Uranus is now in Taurus, still doing lots of things there, with squaring up to the Venus. So the Uranus is more doing stuff that tries to get us out of this rut, you could say, with Venus square Uranus. So it's doing enough there. But what is Saturn doing meanwhile, whilst this moon is full? It's opposing Mercury. It's opposing Mercury. So Mercury opposing Saturn, Mercury in Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces. Ooh, that is serious conversations. Again, Mercury opposite Saturn, although it is an opposition, it can be, sometimes fighting with people and saying that you have some thoughts, and other people say, no, thank you very much. No, not possible. But in a very positive level, Mercury opposite Saturn is focus. It's the surgeon, right, who's got a Mercury opposite Saturn, who knows all the steps that he or she needs to do before they put someone to sleep, for instance, and start operating. They're not going to do it like that. They're going to make a plan. They're going to say, does he or she have this or that, and they're going to exclude and so on. It's very Saturnal. First we do that step, and then we do that step, and then we do that step. It's all written down. It's all strategic. Saturn is a very strategic planet, and it's in that woo energy of Pisces. But now it proposes Mercury, which is saying, like, yeah, you have to look at the detail. You have to look at less is more. You have to do little steps. You have to do conversations that are not the easiest one, sometimes heavy, but start with one. So this is an invitation of seriousness when it comes to the mind as well, with this Mercury opposing Saturn, but also with the buoyancy of this full moon and these emotions that we're not alone. Even if you say, I have no family or I have no friends, you've got like the planet with people walking around it, with at least some people that are like-minded somewhere and having the same situations as you have. And it's tapping into that even energetically to help each other out. And of course, it's a two-way stream. Don't help those always when they're not doing anything and not investing in you. That would be toxic. I mean, it's in a healthy way, in a very natural kind of way. So that is what this is all about. It becomes very clear to us that we are going to have these serious conversations, but they're very good for us. And when we do it in a human kind of way, we can get a lot out of this very buoyant, energetic, optimistic full moon. So let's get started, do the 12 signs, and have a look very briefly where this moon falls and where this is the area of your life that it's going to be showing a lot of change, because Aquarius is change and Aquarius is revolutionary change. And so let's welcome it, because it's for being more honest, more authentic, more independent, more free. And a lot of people want that. Okay, Aries, this is happening in your 11th house. This is a very nice full moon for you because Aquarius and Aries go well with each other. It's called a sextile. And the 11th house is something becomes clear when it comes to your friends, when it comes to the group that you associate yourself with. So this could be the internet, this could be internet groups, this could be friends or one friend. Something becomes super, super clear to you. And there's some changes in there as well, and rather positive changes because of this sextile. So new goals as well. So think about your future, dear Aries people. Think about your future and make some new plans. And, even if they're a bit too high and too high in the sky with this square to Jupiter, which probably will be, start somewhere and use your mind, Mercury, which is in your 6th house of your day-to-day routines. Use it in a very logical way to do some new routines so that you can reach your goals for the future. What a future-oriented, positive time this is for you people. I love it. I have my moon in Aries. I love this. This is so, I can so tap into this energy. Taurians, this is very important. This full moon is important. Could cause some tension though for you because you are a fellow fixed sign. And this has to do most with the top of your chart, which is for those of you who have a job and have a career, it's about that. Something comes to light. It could be a change of career. It could be, tapping into a new career, tapping into energies that you have more freedom around career. You want more freedom in your career, but you will have to do something different because it squares up to your energy. So it's not about doing same old, same old. So start the sooner the Taurians are seeing with that Uranus in your sign, the sooner you're seeing that it's not same old, the sooner you go for your freedom. And especially in your work and having more freedom, emotional freedom in your work. It's a weird thing, isn't it? But anyway, that's how I see it. For those of you who don't have a job, this could have to do with your reputation, you could say, or how you want to be seen in the world. There is a shift in your energy. I always say the 10th house is the second ascendant. So you have an opportunity here to how do you present yourself in the world? And I'm talking about your energy. You can say, but Veerle, I'm 77. Well, this is about your energy. What is your energy? What do you want to exude, even if you're 77? I mean, you've got lots to bring you've got an opportunity to bring love to the universe, whether it is through your grandkids, whether it is through people around you, or a cousin or a neighbor, whatever, in a friendly way. You can achieve so much goodness by expressing who you are on a bigger scale. And Mercury is in your 5th house of self-expression. So do it in your own unique way. And this will be fluently going instead of, you don't want to change. Geminis, this is nice. This is nice. I love this for you. This is for the Geminis, one of the better full moons because it's a fellow air sign and it's in your 9th house. I mean, this is amazing. This could be a trip, a travel that you do, a book that you read, a film, a movie that you see. That is such an eye-opener for you. And you could feel so embraced and understood by the universe, by God, if you like, or the universe or nature. So you feel that you're not alone because the universe got your back. It's that type of energy. Lovely to tap into that kind of energy. And Mercury is in your 4th house. So your thoughts are around family. Your thoughts are around your emotional security. And that is important, what you bring to the table to achieve that. So very lovely energy. Cancerians, this is in your 8th house. Now, this is it's an emotional house, it's a water house. So this full moon is all about how other people value you. So you could be seeing that how you tend to go towards the validation of others, that you shift that. And the work that you've did, like the last couple of weeks, months, or even longer, are all about this shift around how you need validation of others. There's something that comes up here in your psyche that is understood now, that is tackled. It's about tackling your demons, basically. And it's about not being dependent on other people's values. It's as simple as that. And I don't want to say here that you have to do everything alone, financially, emotionally, psychologically, whatever. No. But what I'm saying is that go within and you will find, if you want to be seen for for the job that you're doing and you want this, for maybe the things that you do for other people and you want this, maybe You're investing maybe in others a bit too much who are not investing in you. That's what's going to come up here. And the thing is that you don't have to be seen by others. You have to see yourself, your own worth. This is very key for the Cancerians. It's not an easy thing. But consciousness, it starts there. So there could be some crisis there. But with the crisis, there comes an opportunity for authenticity and for improvement in the long term that is of a way better standard that you've ever had. So go for that and tap into that energy of the deep psychological understanding. Look in the mirror and don't run away from it. Face it. Face the darkness. Face your own darkness. Embrace it, acknowledge it, and start all over. That's basically what this full moon in your 8th house is all about. So a lot of strength here. A lot of Cancerians that have been feeling not strong, not empowered, have an opportunity here in the surrendering. And then comes the surrendering of that what is out of your control. And then comes the relief and how the universe wants you to connect with your inner core. And you're going to attract people who are seeing you straight away. Leos, this is very important for you. This is a very important full moon. This is all about relationships, by the way. Relationships are super important for you. And if you are in the relationship, something will show itself. There's a change here. There's a change in what I've been talking about in the first part is super important for you. And definitely when you have planets around 9 degrees of Leo, because you're going to feel that the most. But all Leos will feel that there is a shift in their in the people that are so important for them. Even if you're single, your attitude around relationships, there could be a new relationship, by the way, coming up for you when you are single. Absolutely. It's going to be that buoyant, new, interesting, innovative kind of partner. All those traits that I was naming in the beginning is very applicable for you here. And it's about thinking about your value, your standards, raise them. If you see that you attract crap, raise your standard. Say no to crap, basically. For others who are in an existing relationship, this could simply mean that something comes very clear, or this other person that you are with is super emotional, because it's the moon. It's emotional, and it's because this person has suppressed too much. So that could be also life-changing for you. And you deal with it in the way that you respond. Very interesting indeed. Virgos, this is happening in your 6th house of your day-to-day life. Your day-to-day life, something becomes very clear that it's shifting. So it's and you're going to love that, because the 6th house is your house. It's the house of the Virgo. And with a full moon there, something becomes very clear of your work. For a lot, it will have to do with work. There's changes in your work. There's changes in your routines. I definitely feel this. Me being a Virgo, you know, my website, they said that they're going to close it. So I have to make a new website. You know, it's a routine kind of administrative kind of thing that I have to fix. Don't worry, it will be fine. I mean, come on, we Virgos, we know how to fix problems. But it's that, you know, improvement in the long run, for sure, for sure. And Mercury is in your sign. So you see the changes of your day-to-day routines, the changes of your work, the changes around health that you want to do, like working more out or less out. You want to work less, or you want to work out less. I mean, it has to do with you as a person, your body, your mind, your soul, everything, your life path. So you're thinking very serious about that. And that's good. It's some sort of an identity, mini crisis here that is going to lead into a better life, better routines. You'll love it. You'll love it. Librans, this is lovely. For the Librans and the Geminis, this is lovely. Why for the Librans? Because you are a fellow air sign. And this is happening in a very fun house, the 5th house. So go out, have fun, do something that you love, enjoy yourself. Whether that is going to a cafe, whether that is going out with friends, because it's in Aquarius after all, whether it is doing a new hobby that you love to do, which is a bit Aquarian-like, maybe an astrology class or a workshop that you've always wanted to do and that is new and exciting and bold, and do it. Do it. This is time to enjoy yourself. Mercury is in the 12th house, so follow your dreams. Your dreams could be, write them down, a little notebook next to your bed, write them down if you tend to forget them. And they're going to give you some clues there. Some big clues for how to have more fun, how to have more enjoyment, how to have more, having that feeling that you just are. You don't have to do so much. Lovely energy. Scorpios, this is serious stuff because this is happening in the 4th house, a very emotional house. This is your home, your family, your roots, your emotional well-being. Something comes up. The work-life balance is classical here, but something comes up as a change. So you could be being more at home because you want to restore the work-life balance, or the opposite. Maybe you are too much at home. You have to work a little bit more, or you feel that. It's what you're feeling. It could, for other people, it has to do with this selling and buying a house. That could be you selling a new house, buying, selling a new house, selling an old house and buying a new one. Could be you. It could be really restoring that emotional freedom there that has to do with, yes, I feel very secure. And Scorpio needs to feel very secure. It's a fixed sign. And that Mercury is in your 11th house of your future and the friends, and so deep conversations with friends and with like-minded people can help you with this. On another level, this is a connection with a parent, that there is something revealing itself here. And that there's a new path that both of you are taking here. And it's for the better. It's for the better, for more humanity in the connection. And for others, it simply has to do with how you nurture yourself. So a new way that you have energy available for nurturing yourself. Sagittarians, I love this for you. This is in your 3rd house. I have a Sagittarius rising, and I know exactly what it's going to be. This is going to be the transfer for me of that new website, and I'm reviewing lots of things when it comes to my work and when it comes to how I'm going to do the PR about it, right? So of course, not every Sagittarian has their own job and with a website and so on, but this is the flavor. The 3rd house, this is happening in your 3rd house, and this is in a positive way. It's a sextile between Sagittarius and Aquarius. So this is all about a renewal in your way of communicating. Again, if you're a writer or you have your own business, this is changes in websites, in networks, it could also mean that something comes to fruition when it comes to teaching or learning, maybe an exam or, all those finishing up kind of energies. For others, this has to do with a relationship. It's a 3rd house relationship. So relationship with siblings, a relationship with, I always want to speak the French word les voisins, but I mean the neighbors. I'm not French, but anyway, I don't know why this comes up. But, your connections there's some culmination here, some shift, some humanity happening here or needed here. And that's good. You could also make a shift in, you could say, what is the 3rd house, the big thing? Yes, learning something new that is really, really good for your future. And that's going to be there for a long time, that knowledge. So new sort of knowledge that is coming in for you, new conversations, very busyness. You could do things in the neighborhood. You could have a party in the neighborhood. That's a good idea as well. And the last thing is the travel. So there could be some short trips that you're doing, and it's really, really buoyant, and it's really, really interesting there because Mercury is in your 10th house, which is your work as well, your career. And so for many of you, it's going to be having that link there with the career to improve it, to think in a different way and in a serious way about your career. Capricorns, this is in your 2nd house. So this change has to do with your values, how you value you. It's your income. It's your resources that you have. There's something new here. You could be having, buying something that is really important for you. So a big, something that you've bought that is rather big. So I'm not talking here about a new pen or a new lipstick. I'm talking here about a new car, a new home, a new computer, something that is very important for you and that has an effect with this Mercury in the 9th house of seeing things in a bigger perspective for you. So it's a lot about a focus of your own worth versus the worth of other people and how to balance that out, how to not be dependent on, a bit like the Cancerians, right? Not being dependent on what other people think, or not that you do stuff to get other people their validation. No, but you're doing it because you love to do it, because it's who you are. And it gives you safety and it gives you security, the 2nd house. So Saturn, your ruler, is in the 3rd house. So this is all a shift mentally as well for you. Aquarians, this is your full moon. Go back to the whole beginning because it's all for you there. It's you that is changing. It is you that has a possibility to tap into all those lovely, lovely traits, positive traits of the Aquarian. You are such an innovative sign. You are such a tolerant sign. You understand everybody. You understand everybody. You have the bigger picture there. You have that intellect. And you have that, you're standing offish a little bit and you kind of observe everything. That is your power. Tap into that energy. Tap into that energy, and it's going to help you in your connections, in your relationships. So it's also about relationships because the sun is there. So someone is significant, whether you are single or not. Someone there catches your eye. This could be a new relationship. Absolutely. This could be a new shift in an existing one. Absolutely, because you have changed. There's something with you that, although you're not the most emotional sign, with that moon there now in your 1st house, you are going to say what you need and to express that in your own unique way. Probably a bit in a rational, standoffish way, but it's important now to talk about your needs and to see also where someone else is coming from. And Mercury is in your 8th house. So this is deep stuff. This is deep thinking. This is stuff that is related to life and death and rebirth and all that kind of deep stuff. So you're not going to feel lighthearted here during this period. But it's supposed to be like that. It's about your emotional freedom. It's you who can only offer that. It's, yes, it's kind of you. It's a lot. It has to do a lot with your childhood as well here. So it's you really saying to yourself, look, the parent or the needs that did not meet my needs in the childhood time, I'm going to give it now, today, yes, as an adult, but to my inner child. I'm going to do that. It's a lot of healing for you Aquarians. I love it. Last but not least, Pisceans. This is in your Piscean house that this is happening, in the 12th house. So this is a massive letting go of old structures, patterns, karma that is no longer suiting you. That is in the most positive way. The most positive way is definitely of letting go of things that are emotionally not suiting you and that are not yours even. You know, Pisceans, they are known to absorb the emotions of other people. And of course, on the one hand, it's also their quality because many people are understood and feel understood by Pisceans because they've been there. They've been through all kind of emotions. Mostly they're not afraid of it. But the only challenge is every now and then they tend to absorb those emotions. It's all good and well when it's positive, but when it's negative emotions, they kind of not know, are they mine? Or are these the emotions of my neighbor that I just kind of took with me? If you've been doing that for a long time, you can do some ritual or whatever it is, and write it off or whatever it is, because it's Mercury in Virgo, right? So, and write it to a person, a friend or a protege, that letter where you've released all the burdens that actually are not your burdens in the first place, but maybe burdens of your parents, maybe a burden of someone who needs to take responsibility and doesn't take responsibility. I mean, that's not your burden. You don't want to do that because otherwise you're going to go down with the ones that are not wanting to face their burdens. So it's a huge opportunity for Pisceans to kind of reload the batteries, for sure. Have that long walk along the seaside. Have that long walk, preferably with a dog, probably, because I don't know any Piscean who doesn't love dogs. If so, don't write it in the comments. Of course, you can do that, no problem at all. But that's this full moon for the 12 signs and in general. Hope it was helpful for all of you out there. Enjoy the full moon, tap into that common sense, and the best to you all. Bye-bye.